Either I gotta be dumb or I gotta be slow. So me and my baby father, we ended up getting back together, and I found out that he was cheating on me with the payroll person, the woman that write the checks. Anyways, so check this out. He had to move from Louisiana to in the midst of all that, you know, we had moved in this big house, nice neighborhood. The kids were in a nice school, etc., etc. Good life. I was driving my dream car. He was driving his dream car. We were just happy-go-lucky. So one day he say, I gotta stay at work late. And I said, why you gotta stay at work late? And he was like, because I got some work to do. You know, I am the supervisor and I need to make sure everything is running smoothly for Monday. I'm like, okay. So then Saturday came and he had to go to work again. But see, one of my daughters, my oldest, she was in this little program and she had to do this she had a little program we had to go to that Saturday. So I told him, you going to be late for the program? He said, I probably ain't going to be able to make it. So I'm like, what? I'm like, yes, the hell you are going to be able to make it. So he was like, I'm not. So I was like, okay. But he ended up making it anyway. Let's fast forward to when I caught him messing around with this lady. So we sitting up here. I go up to his job. I call him. He ain't answer. So I go to his job and I'm like, hey. I say, is Mr. and I say his last name. Is he here? And then the girl was like, he's in a meeting. I'll tell him to come out in a minute, or I'll buzz him and tell him that you're here. I'm like, okay, babe. So she buzzed him and said, hey, your wife is here. And he said, okay, tell her to give me 5 minutes. So I'm like, okay, cool. When his meeting was over, a woman walks out of his office. She looking at me up and down. I mean, up and down. And I looked at her like up and down. So I went to his office and I said, so you just got to meet with that woman? He was like, yeah, that's the payroll person. And then I was like, okay, cool. Whatever. So I said, so what are we eating for dinner tonight? He said, oh, I don't know. I'm supposed to be getting dinner with coworkers. So I'm like, the hell going the fuck on? So I said, okay, babe. I said, whatever. So I left. He called my phone. I said, no, don't call me. You know, I don't want to talk, da-da-da-da. When he gets home, his phone start ringing. Y'all got to tune in for what's happening next.